You're so right.
You're a lie.
I love you too.
You're lying. You're lying. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at how absolutely adorable that couple is. Let's absolutely destroy them. Upon popular demand, yes. So we are here, we are back to break some more hearts, to expose these fake-ass couples for what they are. Fake. Yeah, I did not expect the first video to do as well as it did, to be honest. Love the feedback. Here I am being the biggest pessimist of them all. I'm here today to say love sucks, men ain't shit. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, I'm just kidding. Honestly, the segment is so fun. I just go through these rom-com couples and I'm like, you suck. And I go over the unfortunate, realistic nature of their relationship and tell you exactly why they would not work out in the end. When they roll the credits and it's like some Natasha Bedingfield shit or something.
Suddenly I see, this is what I want to be. Suddenly I see.
Some shit like that, right? How after the credits roll and they bang for 2 weeks, they would get tired of each other. We had a good run. You know, we went to Cheesecake Factory 5 times. If you haven't caught the last video, I highly recommend doing so. I went through probably what would be my top couples that I know in my gut they wouldn't make it past their movie ending. These ones, I do strongly believe these ones wouldn't either, but those ones were just like, boom. Watch that one, educate yourself. But without further ado, I really just want to get into it. Ugh, I've been so mad. I've been so upset. Valentine's is over. It's done. There's no more love in this earth anymore. That was the one day we had for love, and it's gone. No more love anymore. Bye. First one I have to go over. Okay. It pisses me off to no avail. This movie, when I watched it the first time, okay, it pissed me off to no avail with the concept itself. But not just that, but the guy. I'm like, how do people fall for this guy? I know it's Matthew McConaughey, but goodness sakes, he's atrocious. He's an absolute slime ball manifested. You know what movie it is? Mary and Eddie from The Wedding Planner. Oh my. This couple, okay, would not last for shit. This actually would be a very tragic ending. This would be one of those endings where they would get together. I could see them lasting a couple years, sure. I'll give them that. But then come time to propose, you have this piece of shit right here, the biggest of them all, and he's gonna go and find some other bitch. He's gonna make J-Lo happy for a couple years, see another hot piece of ass dangling in front of his face, and then take it. And then eat that asshole up. Okay, sorry. What a crusty ass man. Did you guys remember this was a thing? Because I feel like people don't talk about this movie anymore. It's so problematic. So here we are. Mary is a wedding planner, right? And here she scores this huge account with the whatevers. Their last name is irrelevant. She meets the bride, it's Fran, and everything's going swimmingly. These people are rich as fuck, so she's gonna get a great payday. We love that. But then, I don't even know how many rom-coms actually do this type of meet cute, but this is the prime example of the most outrageous the most cheesy ass, mozzarella ass meet cute I've ever seen in my life, right? This is where it comes from, I think, from this movie. Correct me if I'm wrong. But here she is walking in the middle of the street. Her heel gets stuck. Some random garbage can thing, what are those things called? A garbage bin starts coming towards her ass. And what does she do? She tries to say the heel, right? Which I can understand that. I think she says it's like Gucci or some shit. So yeah, that thing's expensive. But your life is literally at risk, girl. So then she opts to leave the pothole, leave her shoe. But then she goes back for her freaking shoe, tries to make sure that it doesn't get... I'm like, girl, leave it! You're literally risking your life for the shoe. Like, what in the Carrie Bradshaw? Then, in a twisted turn of events, Matthew McConaughey ends up saving her ass and falls onto her like a little pretzel. But also low-key too close for my comfort because yes, you saved me, thank you, but also why are you still on top of me? Even JLo herself calls this out. She's just like, why are you still on me? It actually made me pretty uncomfortable, not gonna lie, because I get it, he's hot, he's Matthew McConaughey. But in normal context, imagine a man saves you, but then he's still on top of you. Ugh. Why are you on her? Get off her. What the fuck? Like, give her some space. Thank you for saving me. Thank you. Okay, bye. Goodbye. No, it doesn't end there. He's a doctor. Naturally, he looks after JLo after this incident because she just faints in his arms. Just absolutely the most dramatic thing I've ever seen in my life. So extra. Her friend then comes in and then invites him out to the movies, basically like a date with them, and he accepts. And then he freaking goes, and then they freaking watch a movie together by themselves because the friend off, and then literally dances with her. Yes, it's her idea, but he accepts. He slow dances with her and is literally about to guess her before the rain starts coming down, and then we find out this motherfucker is the fiance. Oh. And lies to the fiance, also lies to the fiance, and says he saved an old lady. Oh, the red flags. This movie was made today. Ain't no freaking way this would fly. Ain't no way, okay? All of us girlies would back together and be like, this guy's the biggest piece of shit. I don't give a shit. I don't care that he's Matthew McConaughey. That is some scum ass, rusty ass bullshit right there. Ew. Like, ew. The way I crawled in my skin, guys. Like, ooh. So the whole concept of them in the first place is just so disgusting. Absolutely gross. And then throughout the whole movie, okay, it's just them and their stupid ass hijinks. Fran is so trusting. She's so lovely. She does not deserve any of this bullshit. And when they're talking with each other, I swear to you, they don't even bond. I don't even know what they're so in love with each other, honestly. It's so clear to me that JLo is just a hot piece of ass for McConaughey to feast his eyes on. She's literally just that, to be honest. Like, there's no love here. It's not true love. What do you really know about each other other than he likes the brown Skittles or M&Ms or whatever, and she likes Scrabble? What else do you really know about each other? What made you fall in love with each other? No. You know what it is? Is that he literally finds her hot as shit. She also finds him attractive, and they just want to bang. That's literally all this relationship is just wanting to bang. Because be so freaking for real right now. The way this man was so ready to cheat on his fiancée with a woman he just met. What is this relationship? And then throughout the movie, he just has to save her again because Deus Ex Machina, plot convenience, obviously. He saves her ass again.
I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't know.
They have in common that they like a small beach wedding. Then literally 1 in every 5 people want a beach wedding. So I don't know. You know what else? Okay, this is what really gets me. This is another kicker right here. While talking with each other, McConaughey gets all huffy and puffy. Tells her, yeah, maybe you were just a piece of ass. Okay, not actually in those words, but basically in those words.
At the movie, I was attracted to you. I was. You caught maybe. I was just being a guy, and an opportunity presented itself. I never thought I'd see you again.
Maybe I'm just being a man and just wanted to do that.
Disgusting!
Ew. Were people supposed to find this attractive? Sorry, was I supposed to be swooning at this? Because, ew. The amount of red flags this man is giving is just astronomical. Oh, why? What in the leading man? Why did we have this as the leading man to this story? And then by the end, they do the whole for convenience. Fran ends up second guessing the marriage herself, based off all of these icks. that she has of Eddie and tells JLo that she's not too sure she actually wants to marry him. Yeah. And then he ends up getting with JLo in the end. But you know what? The other flag to me too is that he does mention how they've literally known each other since college. So you're telling me that this almost 10-year relationship is mute now because you got bored and fell in love with a hot piece of, got attracted to another hot piece of ass? Really? Imagine having 10 years of a relationship where you guys have built so much together for like 10 years just to have this man turn the other way when y'all are about to get married for a hot piece of ass. Just imagine that, because that is all Mary is. She's just a hot piece of ass. That's all she is. He also talks to his friend at one point saying how, what I got with Fran is great. I know she's great.
And the feelings that I have for Fran run deep. It's not something that can be swept away.
Fran is amazing. Fran is the best.
What if what I think is great really is great, but it's not as great as something greater?
Oh, literally the principle of grass is greener on the other side. And I'm like, no, it's where you water it. It's where you water it, my dude. No, they would not last because A, they barely freaking know each other. They barely do, even though they spend all this time together. The one piece that he learns about her is that she was cheated on. Yeah. And then she learns about him that he wants a private beach wedding and he was together with Fran since college. Yeah. And he likes the brown candies and yeah. That's literally all they know. That's all they know about each other. This whole relationship is based off sexual attraction. They're just sexually attracted to each other. He got bored. He got tired. If you ever seen He's Just Not That Into You, Bradley Cooper, that's literally this man's character in this movie. It's the Bradley Cooper of He's Just Not That Into You is what it is. He's been with the same woman for 10 years and he's just like, oh, actually, I'm kind of attractive and there's a lot of other attractive women out there and I just kind of want to fuck. They're not going to last. They're not going to last. Girl, you think him being that quick to cheating on his fiance of 10 years with you, barely knowing your ass, you think he's gonna be loyal to you? Be so freaking for real right now. That is it. That is it. I'm done. Done talking about it. Next. Let's talk about a funny one. Let's talk about She's the Man, because motherfucker is low-key gay.
Sexuality is a spectrum. You can really do whatever you want.
But actually, though, the whole concept of She's the Man is so hilarious because, honestly, the lies. I've seen comments, okay, I'm not the only one. I've seen comments being like, bruh, was he not low-key gay for Amanda Bynes? With homeboy right here that he was getting to know as a homeboy, maybe. Was homegirl also not low-key gay for Amanda Bynes? I'm just saying. There's comments too saying if this movie was made today, 100% everybody would be gay. I'd be so interested in seeing how they would do that. There was this couple shots there. I mean, at least one shot where Channing Tatum was training Amanda Bynes when he was a man. And he kind of looks at him and is kind of just like, you know, I feel like there's a little bit of a case there. A little bit, but getting more serious into it, because Channing Tatum did find the one chick attractive. What was her name again? He was simping over Olivia for the whole movie, right? So I'll give him that. And then obviously he makes out with Viola, Amanda Bynes at the kissing booth. So yes, I should not question this man's sexuality. I apologize. But also, I'm not the only one, okay? I've seen comments online. I got this from comments online. The whole relationship is based off lies. It's based off lies. And even though they have chemistry, he helped her out with soccer. And then she helped him out with trying to get together with Olivia. That was like the whole premise of their friendship relationship, was just that. Was her teaching him how to riz, because for whatever reason this gorgeous hunk of a man doesn't know how to riz. It happens though. No, it happens. It's based off a lie. He doesn't even know who she is. I don't know if they would last outside of all of this, because he knows her as a man. He knows the persona of Sebastian is what he knows, and there's attraction there as her as a woman, because yes, they made out and it was pretty hot at the kissing booth, but for him actually knowing who she is as a person, doesn't really know. And he does somewhat know her, because she is kind of that goofball of a person that he knows as Sebastian. It was a front, but also kind of her, you know what I mean? Like, it was her faking being a dude, but also it's her being her quirky self. Oh, I don't know why I keep using that word, quirky. It's her being her goofy self. Didn't seem like he was really attracted to it, although it was a man the whole time. So it's just confusing, right? It's confusing really knowing if he's fallen for Viola or fallen for the persona of Sebastian and who he got to know as Sebastian, or just doesn't even know her at all, really. But is willing to give her a shot because he opened up to her, but as a man. I feel like they would last some time for sure, because he seems like a better dude than her ex for sure. He's not a misogynistic asshole like her ex, obviously. So at the very least, there's that. So I think they would last some time. But I don't know. That one's more of a question mark to me. Do you guys think they would last? I don't really know. I feel like he could have a hard time, even though he was able to open up with Sebastian. Would he be able to open up with Viola now? Would he be able to make that distinction? It's kind of like Love is Blind, you know, where they feel so comfortable opening up to each other in the pause because they haven't seen each other. But then once they see each other, it's like, for whatever reason, they can't connect the same person. So for me, I'm curious if he'd be able to make that distinction between Viola and Sebastian, and being able to have those opening up moments and moments of chemistry and bonding, I guess, that he had while she was Sebastian as a woman, right? Or would he clam up because now she's Viola and it's like, oh shit, you're a girl. I don't know how to open up to you. I'm just going to go back to my ways and just climb up and be shy. What else do they have in common also besides cheese and soccer? I will preface, as a couple, you don't have to have everything in common, obviously. Opposites attract, and obviously, you know, you have to bring some differences to the table. I get that. I do get that. But I always love it in these movies where they find, like, the few things to bond over. And then that's supposed to be enough for us. Like, nah, dude. Nah, bro, there's supposed to be more than that. But I love the cheese moment.
My favorite's good.
He's like, that was kind of weird. That was kind of sus. The whole relationship based off of a lie, I already find that in itself pretty concerning. Of trust issues as well. I feel like there would be a lot of trust issues in their relationship moving forward. Are you just lying? Are you lying to me right now? Are you trying to be a man right now? Is that something Sebastian taught you? Is this Viola speaking or is it Sebastian speaking? It could be a little confusing there. And then he might be like, you know what? I liked it better when you were Sebastian. Also with his type, because I get it, he was fixated on Olivia because she was hot. But also, is that just his type as well? You know what I mean? Where it's just this hot girl who has more, I want to say, girly characteristics. Not to say Viola isn't girly or anything like that, but with the way Olivia is with her personality and her being versus Viola and her being. Obviously, Viola has her moments of being more feminine and everything, right? But Viola, I think it's fair to say that she's, you know, more tomboyish. I think that's fair to say. She knows how to hang and she knows how to have a good time. But I mean, it's shown at the debutante thing, she doesn't want to be there. Whereas Olivia does want to be there and seems to be having a good time. But Viola freaking hates it, which is fair. Like, she's in her right to, obviously. But then it also begs the question, does Channing Tatum like that type of girl? Like, does he? Does it work for you? I don't know. We don't really know much about this guy other than he's kind of dense. He sees hot woman and goes for it. He saw hot Viola and wanted to make out with her, so I don't really think there's too much going on up there. I think they would have trust issues. I think he would be very confused. Did he fall in love with Sebastian? Did he fall in love with Viola? Does he like who Viola is as Viola? Or was he liking Sebastian as who Sebastian was? What is, I think he would have a hard time. That's my take. That might be a hot take. Because I do love this movie. And I do love them as a couple too. Please don't get me wrong. I think it's such a fun movie. And I think they're so fun together. Fundamentally, I just question, it's just questionable to me. Next one, back to McConaughey. It's funny because for this, I didn't mean to have back-to-back McConaughey. But then I watched these movies and I was like, that's kind of ironic how McConaughey is in both of these. He's, I think, better in this one though, for sure. But the principle of this couple is just, is pretty flawed. Andy and Ben from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
You saying I'm some kind of mental person?
It's so funny because a couple of you guys were commenting on this one. Shout out. That was the couple that I was leaving y'all in suspense with in the last video that I was debating putting in the last video. Now y'all are not left to suspense anymore. That is them for sure. I also definitely agree that I wouldn't see Andy and Ben lasting for quite a few reasons. For one, their personalities themselves being self-motivated, self-interested, self-driven, selfish. Both of them are are all about themselves throughout this movie in terms of their careers and motivations. I would say more so in Andy's case, that's kind of the nature of her job anyways, is to write columns and to be kind of Carrie Bradshaw again, making an appearance in this video, but to be Carrie Bradshaw with living the experience before writing about it. I do understand more on her case doing what she does in this movie for her article, whereas with Matthew McConaughey's case, it's more just, I don't know, it's a weird bet thing to prove himself that he knows. His is kind of a little more far-fetched in my opinion, but point is, I get people who are driven in their careers and very hardworking, determined people for their careers. Those are admirable qualities for sure, but in this case, these two people take it to the next level, to the freaking extreme, where she starts calling his dick Princess Sophia.
Is Princess Sophia come out?
Exposes him for fat shaming her, even though he never fat shames her. Oh, they both take it to the next level of him trying to trick a woman into falling in love with him just to prove himself for his work, to be on that Diamonds account or whatever. And her tricking this man into falling out of love with her and making his life a living hell and miserable just for a column piece, Like, they're both willing to do these shitty things to people, which isn't cool. To say the least. It's just not really healthy, especially as a start to your relationship with each other. If they're willing to go through those great lengths just for their jobs, who's to say what else they're willing to do for themselves in this relationship? Yes, in the end, Andy does end up writing kind of like an apology, expose, column, article, whatever. And then McConaughey ends up being like, was this true? Well then we should be together. But in the future, if they're willing to do that bullshit to each other, then who's to say they're not willing to go other extra miles for their own personal selves, for their own benefit, and not think about the other? Let's say Andy is just so determined to go to Hawaii, but then Ben is so determined to go to Tokyo, and then they both end up pulling some elaborate scheme so that they end up getting their way, I easily see that happening. That they're gonna fall into some toxic pattern. You can't have two butthead, egotistical people falling for each other. Like, that's just gonna lead to more butting of heads. Initially, too, when it's exposed that they're both self-interested in doing this for their own motivations. They're both mad at each other and they both won't give, right? She's mad at him. He's mad at her. He starts picking away at her. She still picks away at him. In that scenario, too, I don't even know who's worse, honestly, because they both tricked each other, essentially. So they're both in the wrong there. But yeah, neither of them were budging. Neither of them were wanting to hear the other out. They were both just like, oh, well, you did this. And then,
Now you can even use it as a little twist in your story.
It's a good idea. Maybe we should bet on it.
You lose a guy in 10 days. Congratulations. You did it. You just lost it.
No, I didn't bet. Because you can't lose something you never had.
They eventually ended up caving. Not even, though, because even though she wrote that piece, it wasn't to apologize to him, though. It's not like she went to him and went, hey, I wrote this piece and I want to apologize to you. You know? He just ended up apologizing to her and not even... Did he even apologize? He just... He ended up just going to get her and stopping her from leaving because of her words. But did we even get an apology? The other things too is that, again, with the whole falling in love in a short period of time, because what did y'all fall in love with? They were initially, again, attracted to each other, which I understand. They're two hot people. They're both sexy, so yes. But then the whole time, she was a version of herself that he had no idea who she was. He was also a version of himself that he usually isn't, because him putting up with that bullshit was just so that he could get her to fall in love with him. Is he that nice on a daily? I don't know. Would he be willing to put up with that much shit on a daily? Probably not, if it wasn't for his own best. He kept being so nice to her and so patient with getting her drink during the basketball game and going out for vegan food. But you could see he's pissed. You could see internally he's pissed. He's getting choked, dude. He wants to see some balls. So who's to say, on normal circumstances, if she was giving him a hard time, that he wouldn't just snap at her? Right? He's visibly angry. In her case, I could see him falling more for her because she won't give you as much of a hard time in normal life, it seems like. You know, she's just being insufferable for the sake of trying to lose him and make him hate her. But it's still a version of her that he does not know throughout the majority of this time period. They be Ben's partner. They be Ben's partner. My boyfriend thinks I'm that. He's obviously not falling in love with that. But then they pull the whole short time period thing where they go to his family's place. They play bullshit. And it's fun. And then they ride the scooter together. and then that's basically it. And they're in love now. They're in love now. Oh, I just they try to make this whole point too with the family. The mom's like, oh, he's never brought home a girl. You're the first girl he's brought home. But it's like, yes, the whole point though is because he's trying to make her fall in love with him. Obviously, he's gonna bring her to the parents' house because it's part of the deal. These two are toxic as shit. Ain't no way. Ain't no way you're convincing me that they're gonna last. Next couple. Okay, this one's an interesting one. Hayes and Selene from The Idea of You. Ooh. This one's a funny one because it was literally Harry Styles fan fiction. This poor man, he can't catch a break. He can't catch a break. Poor Harry Styles sitting in a corner, sitting in his room going like, what did I do to deserve this? Why me? Why me? Basically, the whole premise of this is that there's this 40-year-old mom who falls in love with this 24-year-old band artist. What's it called? Why am I blanking right now? Boy band singer Hayes, played by Nicholas Galdesign. And the whole premise of this alone, may I just say, ooh, I don't think this would fly, bro. I don't think this would fly if it was the other way around. Let's be serious. If the genders were reversed and it was a 40-year-old man falling in love with this 24-year-old singer girl, I don't think it would fly. I don't. I know it's not the most insane age gap, but it's still Technically, if she was a teen mom, that could be her child. They're like 16 years apart, so technically she could be his teen mom. Technically. He's closer in age with her daughter than her. So, even though I don't advocate for that either, because she's literally 16 and he's a 24-year-old, so I don't advocate for that either. But I'm just saying, in retrospect, let's say the daughter turns 20, he would be 28, and that wouldn't be as problematic as him being a 28-year-old with a 40-something-year-old woman. It's just so weird, dude. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but on a 16-year age gap, you're pushing it. Even a 10-year age gap I find kind of odd. I mean, it's not the worst thing, I guess, if it's a 10-year age gap, but for me personally, something that's more of a comfort level would be between 5 to 8 years. 5 to 8 years, it's like, okay, there's an age difference there, but it's not so crazy to me anyways. That's just personally to me. But after 10 years, to me, I feel like you're pushing it. That's just me. That's just my thought. The whole concept of this alone is just weird to me. Bless Anne Hathaway. She's gorgeous, obviously. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how stunning Anne Hathaway looks at the age she's at right now? Oh my god. Oh, stunning. Stunning. I'm jealous. At my age, I don't even look that good as Anne Hathaway. Like, let's be serious. I would understand why anyone would fall in love with Anne Hathaway, obviously. Like, I get it. But it's just the principle of all of this is just so weird. What do you guys actually have in common? What is it? I know I keep repeating that, but I really heavily say that now here because honestly... It's shown in the film when they get together, age difference. It'd be gapping. The age gap be gapping. At one point, she's on tour with him when he's with the rest of his boy band members, and they're all in their 20s, and they're all youthful, talking about partying it up. Before you hear that lived experience, and then you're like, oh yeah, he's literally 24 years old. In terms of personality and conversation and being able to connect and everything, it was just so awkward. And you see the age difference there when they're all hanging out, how they just don't really know how to talk to Anne Hathaway. It's just awkward. It's just awkward, dude. And it's like, yeah, you guys are at different phases in your lives right now. There's nothing else much more to it than that. She's a full-on mom with responsibilities in her career, and you're just this 24-year-old boy band dude with the luxury of being able to party and doing whatever the heck you want at the age of 24. No responsibilities or care in the world. Just beg me the question how these two got together in the first place. I felt like Anne Hathaway to him was just a breath of fresh air is really all it was. That's how I read it, because he's just so used to being surrounded by girls who are just so in love with him and think they know him because they're fans or whatever. He's used to that type of thing. Whereas here with her, because she didn't know who he was and didn't care, it's refreshing to him meeting someone and talking to someone who doesn't give a about him and can actually hold a relatively normal conversation. But then it's also like their conversations are so stale, dude. I was also watching this and asking where's the chemistry? Because when he visits her at the gallery, when they first meet even, it's just awkward. They don't really talk much. She just says how she's a mom and just doesn't know who he is. That's all they talk about before she leaves. And he does admit to her that she's hot too, that he just finds her hot, which, yeah. Yes. Anne Hathaway, yes. But when he visits her at the gallery, he's literally buying all of the art for the of it, and you can see how almost insulting it is to Anne Hathaway. Because she's like, these are real artists, this is real people, and you're just coming in here and just buying it for what? She actually cares about the art and the artist. That's her passion, that's her job, and he's up in here just buying it all for the sake of buying it. And he doesn't even take it back, he just buys it. Even then, that was such a odd thing to put in there. of how he just doesn't appreciate really what she does and how different they are. She also takes him to this art studio and shows him this painting. He asks her how she feels about it, and she says, everything. I feel everything. And he's like, yeah, cool. So anyway.
Everything.
How did you meet Sarah?
I thought that was going to be a bonding moment for them over art and then connecting over her love of art, but no. What are you guys bonding over? What is the chemistry here? What is it? And eventually he starts opening up about himself. She opens up to him about herself and her divorce and all of that, but then there's just nothing else really to it than that. Them with their whirlwind romance feels so much like a honeymoon phase to me throughout this film is really all it is, and to him it's just something fresh and new that he hasn't had before, but also that he might have had before, because at one point when they get in an argument over him dedicating the song to whoever the like, he says how there was this girl before her and that he actually did like her very much. It sounded like they had a relationship as well, so it sounds like he has this pattern where he will meet someone that is impressionable to him, will have a relationship with them for some time, and then it just ends up not working out because he is who he is, and then the girl ends up being who she is and just not able to accustom herself to his lifestyle. So it sounds like that's happened before, so obviously that probably would happen here as well. Just the logistics of it. Let's take the age out of it. The logistics of it, of him being this famous celebrity who is probably going to continue on being a celebrity for the rest of his life. If not in the boy band, he would then go on to doing some kind of reality show probably, or some kind of movie maybe, you know what I mean? How celebrities do that. So he might end up having a private life, who knows, because celebrities do that as well. But for the time being, he is a celebrity. And he has a very meticulous schedule and go schedule where he's busy all the time. So when are you guys ever going to be able to see each other? Because she has her own career and her own things going on for her. She is her own self-motivated person. So I just wouldn't see them working out in the end for those reasons as well. And they do address this kind of where there's a 5 years later time jump. And in 5 years' time, they're not together within those 5 years, which, yes, because you would literally have to just be doing nothing, essentially, or be an influencer, that you could be an influencer on the road, or writer or something. You would have to have a job that accustoms to his lifestyle, essentially, in order to make that work, because, or else you guys are just never going to see each other, right? But Selene seems like she very much loves her work, very much loves being part of that art gallery, so I wouldn't see her being able to uproot her life just for him. Very well so, very well in her right. She literally says it herself, the whole freaking title, The Idea of You. I think I fell in love with the idea of you. Because yes, it seems nice. You have someone that you're bonding with right now who's treating you nice right now, but the reality of it is that you guys have a 16-year age gap. You have a daughter who's in school who is now getting ridiculed because you're dating this guy, which is unfortunate, but unfortunately, yeah, that is realistic. That would happen. And he is now supposed to be, what, the father figure to her, that she's a 16-year-old? It's just, I don't know, it's just not really that great of a situation. And then in reality, yeah, he's going to be touring. He's going to be off around the world doing whatever the hell. So unless you're able to travel around the world with him and forget your daughter, forget your art gallery, it's just not going to happen. But then at the end, again, they do this 5-year time jump where now that it's been 5 years, her daughter's in college, so she's more self-sufficient. She's an adult now. They have this happy ending type of deal where he goes and visits her in the gallery again. And it's implied that they're going to get together now that he's winding down in his career. But then also he says he's taking a break. He says he's taking a break. He never said that he was retiring his career. He never said that, okay? I watched that and he just said that he's taking a break right now. So again, he's not done. He's not over it. So with Selene, with her and her own career, you're just going to have to uproot your life and take your own pause in your career to adhere to this boy. It's just gonna keep repeating with that cycle. Yes, he's on a break right now. He's able to see you while you're working now. But then whenever he goes back, it's just gonna be the same shit all over again. For all those reasons, I don't think they would work out in the end. It's the age gap. Y'all are gapping. Let's be serious. He probably would meet a whole other slew of women during this 5-year gap. How many times do we see celebrities just meeting people over and over again and just having so many selections to choose from who they're exposed to and around with? So I would imagine he would probably find someone else who is closer to his age, probably within the industry, because Celine's not even in the industry. She's an artist with an art gallery, but she's not like a talk show host or a movie star. You know what I mean? Like, she's not within that industry, so it would be harder for them to see each other. I don't think they would make it. I think this Harry Style ass motherfucker would get himself a new piece of ass. Celine would just be another story. Yes, as the other girl was, that would be Celine. She would just be another story. Okay, I've talked enough. That is it, my loves. Wow, we made it. Notice how I didn't put any Disney couples in this one. And you know why? Because I got something coming for you. I got something cooking for you. After doing Ariel and Eric in my last video, I realized something, and I realized that I believe this deserves its own dedicated video. I believe that topic is something in and itself that needs to be addressed in its own video. Watch out for that. Definitely not for the video after this, because I have something else planned after this. But for one of my upcoming videos, definitely watch for that. Definitely watch for Disney edition. But for these ones, please comment away. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. Respectfully, let me know if there's anyone else that you would have put on this list that I didn't put on this list that didn't make it. Does this deserve a part 3? I don't know. I feel like part 3 is going to be that Disney edition that I'm planning on doing. That in itself is kind of a part 3 in my eyes. But I know there's so many rom-coms, but like I said, I wanted to choose ones that aren't so obviously toxic, like the After series or the Kissing Booth or whatever, you know. I wanted to choose those, but there is merit to doing one more round to this, I feel. I feel like I could do one more round, potentially, but I don't know. I'm not too sure. I feel like this is a good conclusion here. I'm feeling it. But still, let me know. Also, hi to all the new subscribers. I think you're all amazing. I think you're all lovely. Thank you for participating in this. Let me know all of your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time. Mwah.